Yo, what's going on, everybody? GZTV back with another TV show episode review. We are at season 1, episode 1 of The Boys. We have started a new series. This episode is called Name of the Game. Yeah. This is a dark superhero thriller. The show really gets off to a great start with this one. And shout out to the Review Geek website. Shout out to Greg Wheeler for a great article we're going to read from and kind of make some conversation over. There's a mixture of sharp wit, satirical plays on conventional superhero ideas. This series pretty much makes fun of superheroes. I like satire. I think satire is pretty funny, and it's like if you need a good sense of humor, you might as well watch shows like this. The first episode begins with 2 prologues that set the scene for the show to follow, so pretty much 2 storylines we're going through. We begin with Homelander and another superhero stopping a couple of robbers who hold 2 boys up at gunpoint. We then skip across to a girl called Robin and her boyfriend Huey discussing plans to move in together. This doesn't happen long, my god. Unfortunately, a superhero with super speed called A-Train knocks into her with such force it causes her to explode. I know that sounds ridiculous. This show gets off to a crazy start. It's one of those like horror movie, you know the movie horror movie. It's kind of like that, but with action films and superheroes, kind of making fun of that whole genre, kind of making fun of like mostly DC. Honestly, I don't see a lot of like Marvel equivalents. I think it's more of like a DC spin-off type. Yeah, she explodes, and it looks kind of comical and ridiculous, but obviously it is kind of disturbing and sad. It's here where we're also introduced to Starlight, another hero who wants to save the world and has the power to blind people. She's kind of like it's a weird superpower to blind people, but she's like an upcoming superhero. Huey stews in his anger as the various supers brush off the incident and struggle to look him in the eye and apologize. So obviously, in a lot of superhero movies, this is kind of highlighting the fact that superheroes are very destructive, almost more than helpful in a lot of situations, and they end up hurting people. You know, like Spider-Man's a really notable example. They might be making fun of Spider-Man. That's like the first superhero I think of when I think of destructive superheroes. Like, he always ends up making a building fall down, fighting people, that type of thing. Instead, he looks set to launch a court case against her death, much to the disdain of his father. His father doesn't want him to do it for some fucking reason because he's like, oh my god, they have too big of an ego, they're superheroes, I don't know. Meanwhile, the Vought family hold a press conference. And it's here we see their global influence firsthand. Starlight begins her career as a superhero and enters the inner circle with these heroes. They have the round table with the superheroes. Pretty dramatic. It's in a lot of the movies. The Deep. I think the Deep is supposed to be Aquaman, pretty much. Shows her around and tells her she'll be part of the group soon enough. I thought she already was. She sat at the table. I don't know. As she admits to having a crush on him as a child, very, very awkward, I may add, he uses that to his advantage and blackmails her into giving him fellatio. She actually did that? I thought she, turned it down. I don't know. It was a very fucked up situation. It was very... The dude's a pedophile. I don't know. Maybe deep down in this superhero industry, that might be the case. I don't know. So she pretty much gave him head. She vomits in the toilet soon after before Queen Maeve arrives and tells her to pull herself together. I pretty much know what happened. I just want you to fucking toughen up because you're a superhero. Anything you go through, you gotta be a man about it. Even though I don't know. At work, Huey is approached by a man named Butcher claiming to be from the FBI. I think he ends up lying about this. He intends to fight the supers and enlist him to his cause. So they're pretty much being enemies, but not really. They're kind of a mix between the good guys and the enemies. Maybe the villains actually do have their reasons. I don't know. Huey then sees firsthand the shady corruption as A-Train and the others laugh off what happened to Robin. So there's like this club thing that superheroes go to at night in the show. It's kind of foolish. It's kind of like separating superheroes from normal people, because I'm sure if superheroes in real life wanted to have fun, they'd go out as their regular selves and party like everyone else. But yeah, Billy then gives him a mission: plant a bug on A-Train personally to find out just what's going on inside the offices. It probably has like a microphone on it and stuff to kind of spy on them. He refuses and heads away from the man before happening upon Starlight on a random park bench where they open up to one another. These two are kind of connected in the series. They cross paths a couple times. they're like the two main characters. You know, Huey's the civilian perspective, and Starlight is the superhero perspective, and I kind of like how they set that up. This happens to be the spark Huey needs, and he decides to go ahead with the deal after all, playing on the need to have A-Train there to accept. You know, they kind of have a motivational conversation towards each other, like, suck it up, you got this, type thing. The officials agree, and Huey is tasked with planting the bug while he is accepting an apology from A-Train. Although he manages to do the job, Invisible Super Translucent winds up in the toilets at the time and catches wind of what he's done. So yeah, Invisible Man, he has so many powers, he knows that Huey did this. I just puked in my mouth. Jeez, that's nasty. He follows Huey back to his work and shows him the bug uncovered from the toilets. However, before Translucent can hurt him, Butcher shows back up and saves the day. The two fight, and blood is spilled before Translucent is taken down thanks to exposed electrical cables, and Huey, being the smart man that he is, he works at like a radio and TV store, like an electronics store, pretty much. Butcher and Hughes haul him into the boot of the car, where he learns Butcher isn't actually with the FBI. He's been kind of joking the whole time. Or, he's been lying the whole time. Not joking. It wasn't a joke. He's been lying the whole time to kind of cover it up and make him seem legit. And make a Huey kind of go along with his plan. The episode ends with Highlander destroying the mayor's private jet high up in the air. Again, showing the destructive nature that can come with being a superhero, you know, saving someone and doing a little too much, you know, and him literally purposefully destroying the jet is kind of exaggeration compared to the regular superhero films, because they don't actually, like, intentionally destroy shit. They destroy it in the process of, like, killing villains and battling them. I think this episode does really well at setting the tone and mood for the series to follow, you know, kind of giving the comedic tone, really, the satirical tone, kind of introducing this idea. They do good at introducing the concept. Butcher is certainly an endearing character, and Starlight's talk with Huey on the bench near the end of the episode is a nice inclusion, doing well to foreshadow future events for them both to undertake in the future. So we know that since these two are kind of interacting with each other at the beginning of the episode, they're probably going to have something to do with each other throughout the series, and I'm so excited. I think there's 3 seasons, 7 episodes, so that makes it 21 total episodes on the series. It's the intriguing notion of the 7 that makes it so interesting. With Translucent now captured, the foundations are set for an explosive season. So, you know, they have one of the superheroes captured. That's probably going to cause some conflict. There's probably going to be some fights. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I don't think these episodes are going to be too long. We're going to kind of sum up the series. I think there were some funny moments. You could laugh. There were some moments where you were like, this is awesome. You know, there's all sorts of emotions that pour out when you're watching this. I think it's very interesting. You guys should give it a try. Obviously, do not watch these reviews because they aren't spoiler free. We do go through the plot. We do kind of tell you guys what happened, and then I give you my thoughts on it, what I think of it. Yeah. So if you've already watched the episode, come back, look at what I have to say about it. But I'm just trying to, you know, spread my audience out. You know, I feel like a lot of people watch this. It's on Amazon Prime, by the way, if you want to watch it. I have Amazon Prime. My mom does. It's on the video platform they have, which is really dope that they have that.